So yeah, we're conducting an investigation, and you are being detained.
What crime am I suspected of committing?
We don't know. We don't know what you're up to. But you're taking pictures. It might be terrorists.
Carlos Miller with Photography Is Not a Crime. He's the founder and publisher. He's my boss. Okay. I'm out here on assignment to see if the right to photograph in public is respected. That's the story I'm working on. Just taking photographs.
Photographs?
Yeah.
We'll take photographs of?
Whatever I can see for public. I'm just gathering information about just investigative journalist gathering content for a story, that's all.
Okay.
Here's my hands. Got nothing in my hands, all right?
Why are we taking pictures of the plant?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Raise a little bit of suspicion.
It's not illegal though, right?
That's not illegal, however, it is suspicious in nature. With it being as, you know, what it is. So, you have a vehicle with you?
I'm not answering any questions. Like I said, I explained to him I'm a journalist gathering content for a story.
You have an ID with you?
And so he's already confirmed I'm not breaking any laws. So.
Well, we're still talking to you. We need to identify who we're talking to.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
We're trying to identify who we're talking to, just because it was called out that there was a suspicious person walking around taking photographs. The way things are right now, we at least need to identify who we're speaking to, so we can make a notation that you were in the area, who you were, and what you were doing. If you're taking photos, that's fine. But we still need to find out who we're talking to.
Who I am is investigative journalist gathering content for a story.
Okay, I need your name now.
And I'm taking photographs.
So that's perfect.
Unless I'm being detained. Am I being detained?
It's an investigation, so right now you are being detained. Right?
I am being detained?
You are being detained until we can figure out who your name is. I'm giving you a chance to give me your name. We're conducting an investigation as to what you're doing. Therefore, I'm asking you for your name.
What reasonable articulable suspicion do you have that a crime is afoot?
You're in an area taking photographs of a power plant.
Is taking photographs of a power plant a misdemeanor or a felony?
What is that? Sorry?
Is it a misdemeanor or a felony to take pictures?
Right now you're failing to identify who you are while being investigated by a law enforcement officer. That's the crime that you're committing at this point.
Well, what would that be?
Failing to provide identification to a law enforcement officer when you have been asked to do so.
Is that a crime?
Yes.
It is a crime.
You have to provide law enforcement with an identification or your name, so that when it's been asked upon you not do so.
But you've already confirmed that I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not violating any laws.
Failing to identify yourself at this point.
There's no duty. I'm not refusing. Don't get me wrong. But there's no duty to identify if I'm not suspected of a crime.
Okay.
Is that right?
We're telling you right now, you're completing an investigation as to what you're doing and what you're photographing.
I've already told you that I'm an investigative journalist gathering content for story.
Along with that, we need to identify. We're asking you that we need to identify who you are, so we can make a notation that you were in the area and you're going to be in the area taking photographs. Okay, failing to provide law enforcement officer with a form of identification after you have been asked to do so is a crime.
Okay, so I'm not refusing. What will happen if I don't give you guys identification? Because I don't think it's any of your business who I am. You've already confirmed that I'm not committing a crime. What I'm doing is perfectly lawful. I'm standing on a public sidewalk. Not only is it, just let me finish. Not only is it perfectly lawful, it's constitutionally protected activity. Okay. Did you guys take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution?
Okay. I'm not asking you whether or not you are going to be taking photographs on the side of the road. That's not what we've already clarified that. Right. However, what we're discussing now is the fact that you're failing to provide law enforcement with an actual identification or your name, so that you can make a notation that we may contact you.
This is a First Amendment protected right. You guys are detaining me unlawfully. And now you're forcing me to give up my identification, which is unlawful. And I'm gonna give you guys a chance not to do that. I'm not refusing to do it, but I'm gonna give you guys a chance not to unlawfully detain me.
We need to know who we're speaking to.
Are you gonna give us your identification or not?
Am I gonna be arrested or not if I don't give it to you?
It depends. Why are you refusing to give it?
Because it's none of your business who I am. It's my personal information.
I'm a law enforcement officer. I have the right to find out who I am.
What is y'all's names and badge numbers? Do you have a supervisor?
I do. You want me to come over? Because I'll be more than glad to
Please call your supervisor and we'll take it from there, okay?
Right.
Now I'll make it clear I don't consent to being detained. I like to be free to go and go about my business.
I understand that.
Are you recording as well?
Yes, everything's
Excellent,
recorded.
excellent.
He's also recording a live stream on Facebook right now.
That's perfect.
You guys both confirmed that you're recording, so I'm going to be doing...
Everything's being recorded.
I will be doing a public records request to obtain those videos.
Right now you're telling me you're innocent. That's perfectly fine, but I have no way of proving that unless you provide me some kind of identification that states that you are. And if you do, then that's fine. You're good to go. We'll go on our own way. Well, it's the loitering and prowling is what we were looking at because you're in an area at a time that's not common for normal people to be in photographing.
Like I expressed to Deputy Richardson, I do not consent to being detained. I would like to be free to go as soon as possible.
As soon as we can find out who you are and we can possibly identify who you are, you'll be more than glad to go.
All right, sir, I'm going to advise you of your constitutional rights, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have him listen during any question. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you. Before any question, if you wish, if you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you'll still have the right to stop answering at any time. You'll also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand these are those rights advised to explain them to you?
Hi, I'm Sergeant Ford. How are you, sir?
Sergeant Ford.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Jeff. I'm
okay.
an investigative journalist. I'm just taking photographs. They've already advised me that that is not illegal.
No, it's not. And no, Jeff, I don't think you're a terrorist. Oh, fine, but if that's all you do is taking pictures.
Okay. Am I free to go?
Outside, Jeff.
I know it is. Am I free to go?
What's that?
Am I free to go?
Yeah.
We know
Okay.
who he is, right?
Yeah. What's that?
We don't know who you are.
Well, you don't want to give us your last name or anything like that, Jeff?
I'd rather not if I'm not doing anything illegal.
He wouldn't even give us his first name. So.
Well, you said it's Jeff. I mean, if it's Jeff, Jeffrey, I don't know.
Okay.
But no, you're not doing anything illegal.
Okay. So I'm free to go?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to head this way if I could just...
Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Jeff, you know that were you recording our conversation between the two of us?
I am, yes, sir.
Okay, well, you didn't tell me you were recording that conversation, did you?
No, sir.
Okay, that's illegal under the Florida statutes. You realize that?
Actually, it is
yeah,
not.
it's a Security Communications Act is what it is.
Not when it comes to public officials.
No, I think you're wrong, buddy. Okay, but you need to tell me you're recording me. If I'm talking to you, say, hey, I'm recording this conversation, and I'll be fine with that because you've told me you're recording me. Okay?
Okay, am I free to go?
Yeah, you're free to go.
Thank you.
I bring that to your attention.
All right, the Sergeant Ford just pulled out in his blue Ford. He is coming up behind me at a pretty high rate of speed. I'm going to turn in here to the gas station. I'm going to turn down this road. If he's going to run my tag, I want him to commit to doing it. My turn signal's on. You can hear it. All right, he's coming up behind me. All right, it turned off.
Did you take an oath upon the Constitution?
Don't give me that. Don't even start there.
This is a First Amendment.
Don't even start there.